Hey, we're Justin and Kim. Today we have the awesome privilege of hanging out with Bear from Need to Breathe. Bear, thank you so much for being with us
Welcome
today.
to the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We're so excited about your new record, Caves. Just came out. It's so good. We've
Oh, I
both
love
been
it.
listening to it on repeat. And your new single is called Fall on Me. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it really is. It's a song about, I think it got started anyway, about a daughter leaving for college. So
Mhm.
I was writing with this guy, Jason Ingram, and his actual daughter was leaving for college. He was dealing with it. And I related to it really strongly because I've got kids that I've dropped off at school for the first day. And I think the thing I've learned about being a parent that I didn't think would happen, I guess, is like I didn't think, oh, they're going to do great. I thought, oh no, they're going to fail.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what is your message then to them? Is it's like, man, I'll be here for you regardless of what happens. You're going to make some mistakes. I'd like to be the place you fall. And that makes me think, my favorite sort of Bible story, if you will, is the prodigal. Tim Keller
Mhm.
wrote a book not that long ago, a few years ago, about that. And it just blows me away about that father. I'd like to love people in that way, and not just my kids, but
Yeah.
everybody around me. And that's what the song's about. And so I literally I cry every. We made a video about this song, and I've wept. I've seen it 4 times. Like I have to stop watching it
Wow.
because it really feels close to me.
Mm.
Yeah, what does that mean to you as a father and as someone obviously, I mean, I think about the song Brother, how it kind of has a similar theme,
Sure.
that you need people in your life that you can lean on in tough
Mhm.
seasons.
Yeah, I think that it's also inevitable. We're all a mess. I think that's something that I've learned to be okay with as I've gotten older. And you obviously know that about your kids. It's simple to see it in them. It's like they can make plenty of mistakes, you still love them, but you don't think of yourself that way. And I think for me, that's been, showing a little bit of grace to myself in that way has really opened things up, at least made that shame cycle a little shorter. To me, that's what this song is about. Is a real love song is not, hey, I'll love you if you do all the right things and you do what I'm asking you to do. But
Yeah.
it's like, I'm loving all the mess of this. I'll be here. This is going to be rough at times, and we'll grow and learn from it.
And maybe you have found this too, but I know that as I've gotten older, I have found myself it is a little bit easier to give myself grace than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and we grew up, like we're probably similar ages, probably. I
Hmm.
don't know, but like, I mean, I grew up in the '80s.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a rough time for everything, but Christianity especially was very hard line,
yeah,
and that grew some really bad habits, I think, and not very biblical ones,
yeah,
to add to that. And so to me, I think, even like my thing I take away from the Gospels in general is that like every time somebody thinks they know and they're exactly right, they never are. You know,
yeah, yeah,
like that's the big takeaway for me when I read them. And it's like, and so that's comforting to me. I don't have to have it figured out. And even as an artist that people listen to our songs, it's like we're not trying to teach anything. That's not what we didn't learn this thing and hey, you gotta, we're going through it.
yeah.
And that's what we're kind of all relating to. And I think yeah, I'm really proud of that growth, I think, in the
Yeah.
whole band and our, my family and yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, you've been public about that growth and how therapy and counseling played a role in it. I saw a video where you got a tattoo of a pair of denim shorts on your bicep and you attributed it to a therapy session. Joy FM promotes therapy and counseling every day, so this is like right up our alley. What was that
Yeah.
about, and how has that helped you in your life?
Yeah, man, I've been going for a long time. And my wife and I are huge proponents of. There's an awesome organization in Nashville called Porter's Call that
Yeah,
that is free for artists and their spouses, so we use it.
yeah,
But I was in a counseling session. They were going through some memories and things like, you close your eyes and kind of deal with these things. And one of them though was like the happiest you've ever been. And I was like, I was 8 years old. I can see it right now. This guy goes, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "Jean shorts and no shirt." So as soon as I said it, I knew I was like, I have to put this on my body somewhere to remind me. So I love it. It's like it's actually on my guitar hand side. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
every time I look down the guitar, I see it, which it's a good reminder.
Yeah. What are every time this bell rings, that's someone else liking this video. Wait on you. You make the bell ring. Go ahead. What are some of those things now as you've gotten older that you look back on and you go, man, I have learned so much through this season of life.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a lot, but if I were to just look at the early, 5 to 10 years of our band's career, ambition was such a big part of it, and how that like bled into other things was that we compared ourselves to other things, and I thought, oh, I need to be like this or like that in order to, and none of those things worked. When I look back, it was like, it was incredibly hard to do to be somebody else, and it never connected. And so I think when I look back at so many of the songs that worked were easy or things we didn't think would work because they came too naturally, or and so I think that's probably like the biggest thing for me. And then, I just understand the mistakes are going to happen. You're going to blow it. And the people around you are going to blow it. and I think just having less of like the world is ending kind of feeling when that happens, and more going like, hey, we're going to get through this. We don't want this to happen again. We let's come up with a plan. It's not the end of the world. And
it just, I think it shows that too, like it's never for nothing. God always takes it and he always uses it in ways that you've never seen. At least that's been true. I think, well, all of us could probably agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely. I think I'm not good with timelines anyway, but I like that idea of like, we just don't really know when this is going to pay off or when you're actually going to win. And that's the reason to believe in God in the first place, in my opinion. If we had it all figured out, like, why we need this thing?
Right.
You know? I think even our sense of justice is so jacked, you know, and I think that's something I learned. It's like a lot of the times my relational struggles will be in that. It's like, I really want justice in this moment, but it's not mine to have. And I think a little bit of patience and age teaches you that, like, man, I was so off at that time. So, I mean, it lets everything come a little easier right now, I feel like, and we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
I think the response to Caves, the album, has just shown you once again that Need to Breathe has the best fans. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Dude, there's no question. And they're so weird and awesome and wild. Like it's my favorite thing. It's just like it's so broad and crazy. It's really fun. Yeah.
On that note, what's the most shocked thing you've ever seen a fan do to show love to the band, to you?
Somebody asked me to sign their gallbladder scar.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We've had signed my dog's ashes.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had some on the other side. Those are kind of sweet, but a little crazy, you know. We've had the people move to the town, or, you know, we had someone give us hotels on fake credit cards one time.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So we've been through the gamut in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
of just
you have.
Like all of that.
Well,
mostly sweet though. I mean, it's 99.9% has just been like, it blows us away every time we meet somebody and they have a story about how the music's mattered to them. That's incredible.
Well, there's a couple in St. Louis who actually walked down the aisle to your song "I Want to Remember" and named their daughter Banks after your song Banks. Yeah.
Been hearing, but so that's a huge honor for me, because like the song title and what it means, but we are getting more. I've met several bears in the last couple months.
That couple in St. Louis is me. It's my wife and I. So,
I love that, dude.
Banks was our first dance song at our wedding.
Yeah.
And as we knew we were pregnant and having a baby girl, my wife was like, "What if we named her Banks? That song, it's like our song. Like what?"
Yeah.
And so our daughter's literally named after a Need to Breathe song.
She's a
so
doll.
That's incredible.
I know.
I love that.
I know as a songwriter that you want to write songs that mean stuff to people, not just songs that sound good, which they do, but how does that make you feel, that to know that you are writing songs that are so meaningful?
Man, I think we're more aware of it now, and we have that conversation a lot. We're like, man, it's these monumental, and it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because it's like we're all the time we're getting the funeral. It's like we played this at the funeral, we played this at the graduation, we played this, and I feel like that, like we've kind of become a band that is aware of that. But what's really sweet about it is we never know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
A surprise, you know what I mean? Like, I think we have the reverence for the songs in that way. We're trying to write things that mean something to us that would be like that, but there's always a surprise on a record. And Banks is like that. It wasn't a single.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a music video for it or anything. It was just like
beautiful.
Oh, we love that song.
Has lasted, and I'm really proud of that.
You know, Bear, before we let you go, last time we spoke, it's been a few years, and you shared with me that you played college football. And I remember you saying like, "Oh, I had a huge neck," and it was like so crazy. So being football season, what is it like to watch football with you?
Oh yeah, we should do it. I mean, it is crazy.
Let's go.
I'm in. I'm doing great in fantasy football.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm cheering for different things these days. Like I grew up an Alabama fan because it's named after Bear Bryant. But my college roommate, best friend in college, and quarterback when I played football is the coach of the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they had this big win against Tennessee last week.
Yeah.
We were playing the Opry. And so I'm backstage literally screaming every touchdown they scored right before until the minute before we walked on the Opry stage, I was watching that game. So it's a little chaotic. I'm pretty into it, pretty intense. But yeah, it's really fun to see people that like have that sort of connection with some people. It just makes it a whole new level.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I'm actually an Illinois fan. I know
Okay.
it's bad, but I grew up with the Fighting Illini.
I think he's cool
Hey,
with that.
you got to be a fan. I tell my kids all the time, I was like, you pick them now.
Yeah.
You're staying with them.
I don't want to tell him I'm a
Good
Georgia
years,
Bulldogs fan.
Oh, yeah. He's a Bulldog over here.
Alabama and Florida, we hate those guys.
Yeah, I get it.
If you're loving this conversation, you're going to love the other interviews with Joy FM artists.
Just click below to keep it going.